topic of audit of the 2022 presidential election, I heard you say that the position of Kenya Kwanza is that this matter is closed and done with, in the sense that it was concluded at the Supreme Court. However, there are people who've come before us, and in their presentation, they have said that is a political view in response to a political question raised by Azimio. Because our understanding, which I want to believe is the same matter that you're responding to, is that they are contesting the election result. However, many people, including the church, I don't know if you had a chance to listen to NCCK present, and so many people that have come before us have told us, have a broader view of this issue. Look at it as an audit of our electoral process, which results are just part and parcel of. That there is a bigger perspective through which you can have a view to making our electoral processes better. What are the issues that have arisen, matters of contestation over every electoral cycle, and how that can better prepare us for the next electoral cycle. If that was made to be your understanding of what an audit will be, will you still maintain the same view that that matter is concluded, or you would agree with those that are requesting this committee to have a broader view of this matter? Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Chair.
Honorable Chair, before
you go, we still have comments. Chair, I think I want to go next. Yes. Thank you, Chair. Thank you, Kenya Kwanza, for your presentations. My simple question is, what is your take on these errand elected officers or members of either county assembly or even the National Assembly who are errand, and they don't even conform with the party, maybe constitution or ideologies? What is your take on them? And secondly, Madam Senator, it's on the 2/3 gender rule. You gave us almost a blanket statement about the government or the parliament having not conformed to implementing. But I wanted you to be a bit specific. Do you have any specific measures and ways which we can use to get to this 2/3 gender rule? Like other parties have been coming here, the public service was here with their team. They gave us suggestions. Guido was here. He also mentioned even about scrubbing the women rep seat and maybe creating something else. Do you have anything specific that you can recommend to this committee? Thank you.
Mine, Chair, is just a comment.
Yes.
They might choose to answer it in a different way, but because also this committee is conscious that part of us are Kenya Kwanza and the other parties Azimio, I think the fact that we've participated in our full element of P1I is testimony that what you call outbursts are just opinions, and that we continue to support this process fully, including its outcomes.
Thank you. Please respond, and we'll give you 3 minutes to just respond quickly to those issues.
Chair, we will try to respond in 3 minutes, questions that were asked in 9 minutes. Okay. we will abide, Chair. Chair, I will start on the issue of whether the issue of whether we agree that we should audit the process of the elections. Our position is that we can open up on the issue of auditing the process, and that is a mandate that is given to the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission. And therefore, I think that goes without any opposition that as Kenya Kwanza, we agree. And since we are a democratic country, we can audit the process. We look into areas which we can improve as a country, because elections are supposed to be transparent and in a manner that people can be participating in the formulation of the rules of the election. Second, on the issue that you raised about strengthening of political parties, I want to strongly agree with the Secretary General of the Ford Kenya that let us strengthen political parties, because we fought so much in this country, we shed blood to achieve the multi-party democracy. And therefore, our position is that let us strengthen political parties. But the big question is, how do you strengthen your political party? You strengthen by recruiting members. So if in an instance you can recruit members from a particular political party to a point whereby that political party is no longer viable, you can decide to take up the entire membership of a political party and bring to your... So strengthening, you must strengthen your political party by recruiting members. And that is our position, that let us strengthen, let us compete, and that is multi-democracy that we fought for. On the issue of errant MPs going against their party positions, I think we already have a legislative framework on that. The Political Parties Act is very clear. It's just a matter of enactment. So, Honorable Wambilianga, enforcement.
Enforcement. It's already enacted.
Enforcement. So it's just a matter of enforcement. So that has already been provided for in the Political Parties Act and other related legislation.
Conclude, SG.
1 minute before he concludes, Chair.
Yes.
On the issue of political parties, we as a coalition are very much aware about where we came from in terms of the one-party state. And like we said correctly, we want to strengthen the political parties. And let me further indicate that we also, this is what I wanted to bring out, that also coalitions, we also need to strengthen development of coalitions that can actually purpose to drive a certain area. And that's the experience even we had in America. What you now call the strong parties in America is a whole history of ideologies of small conglomerations that came together to form what they are today. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Chair. Just to know from you, this is a national dialogue initiative.
Yes.
And you are sitting on different divides. Why can't you mix? Thank you.
Food for thought. That's food for thought.
Thank you, Chair. I think we will be ungrateful if we left this sitting without congratulating the committee. You've made Kenya proud, because in the history of Kenya, this is the first time we are seeing different divides, political divides, sitting together, having a dialogue. And I think this is the Kenya we want to see. The other Kenya where we came from, we don't want to go back into those trenches. We want to see a Kenya which is united. And I suggest, Honorable Chair, that in the forthcoming Mashujaa Day, you guys should be celebrated. We should give you accolades for bringing Kenya together. Now we have a peaceful country, and we want to encourage that we continue with that. Thank you.
We appreciate. Thank you. Thank you, Kenya Kwanza. We appreciate you and your presentations. Asanteni. The next...
Federation of Kenya.
Federation, eh?
Federation of Kenya Employers.
Yeah.
Yes.
Federation, and then next after Federation of Kenya Employers is the Kenya National Commission on Human Rights.
Can they all be in the room? Federation of Kenya Employers.
Federation and Kenya Human Rights be here.
I can see Governor Waititu. Are you Governor Waititu? Are you part of KFKE? Which group are you with? Honorable Waititu? Or you are personally? Can we hear you?
Let's first hear FKE.
Okay.
And then Governor Waititu, and then yes. FKE, the floor is yours. We will not introduce ourselves. I think everyone now knows us. We think so. But you have exactly 15 minutes. Try and do the best you can in 15 minutes.
Thank you very much, Honorable Co-Chairs. It is indeed an honor and a privilege for the Federation of Kenya Employers to appear before you to make presentations on the important issues we are discussing. Let me quickly introduce my team. I have 2 board members, Mr. Cosmas Mutava, and Dr. Rachel Monyoncho to my left. I have senior staff of the Federation, Mr. Stephen Obiro, the Head of Advocacy, Consulting and Partnerships, Mr. Samson Mwangi, Heading Finance and Procurement, and Jeffrey Maumo, our PR and Communications. First, we want to thank the committee for inviting us to make presentations on pertinent issues facing our country. The Federation of Kenya Employers supports constitutionalism as provided for in our constitution that reflects the desire for fair, democratic, and inclusive approaches to governance. We share the national aspirations of peace, unity, and prosperity for all based on shared values. Due to the shortage of time, we will focus our presentation mainly on the area of the outstanding constitutional matters, specifically on the cost of living and the implementation of the 2/3 gender rule. Co-chairs.
Madam Mugo.
Yes, oh, yes, my name is Jacqueline Mugo.
Yes, you only have 15 minutes.
Yes.
And I would suggest you just give us highlights. This document is very well written.
I will give the highlights.
Yes.
Thank you very much for your counsel. We have in our document said who FKE is. I just want to highlight the fact that we play a very strong representation and advocacy role, not just at the tripartite level in this country, but we also represent employers internationally and regionally. Tripartism is therefore very important for the functioning of the labor market. It helps us to promote industrial peace and harmony at the workplace, and we want to appeal to the committee to support the strengthening of tripartism in this country. We have seen a tendency at various times, not just for this administration, but even in the past, to weaken tripartism and to remove employers from critical boards and institutions when we take positions that perhaps are against what is being proposed. We want to say that the Federation believes in good governance, and we support the government of the day because we are apolitical, and the positions we take are really aimed at advancing the national plans that we envisage as a country. And right now, there are very many of those plans, and I'll be talking about them. Our overall objective is really to have a conducive environment for doing business. This promotes enterprise sustainability, it creates decent jobs for our people, and improves the lives of Kenyans. On the current cost of living and related issues, we want to say that the business environment is very challenging for employers. We are experiencing increased cost of doing business in our country, fueled by the additional levies and taxes that have been introduced. There are international factors, such as the weakening of the Kenya shilling, but we believe that there is a lot that we can do as a nation to address the cost of living so that we can stabilize the economy, because it is really testing the capacity of employers to keep people in jobs. We are calling for responsible management of the economy in the labor sector specifically, and we believe that stability and predictability in the regulatory and policy framework helps to help us keep people in jobs and also for the proper functioning of the labor market. We have been discussing as a country issues of wage adjustments. There is a great push by employees currently, for understandable reasons, for an increase in their salaries. But we believe as employers that these salary or wage adjustments should be linked to productivity and the performance of the economy. Wages are sensitive and are fixed costs to enterprises, and the adjustments should look at both the interest of the employee and the interest of the enterprise so that both can survive. We are aware that our counterpart trade unions called for a general wage